Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today we have a Warhammer Age of Sigmar video for you, and today we're going to be doing the Loremasters alphabet. This is a video where we go through the alphabet and give you some interesting lore on a bunch of things correlating to each letter of the alphabet in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So with that said, let's get straight into it. Let's get started on the Loremasters alphabet for today. A for all points. The all points, called the 8 points by the forces of chaos after they captured it during the Age of Chaos, is an island floating in the etheric void that serves as a nexus of travel between all 8 of the mortal realms. It is a single, most coveted strategic location in the cosmos arcane. Its paths have been trod by the gods themselves, and its history is filled with wars and legends. The fall of the all points to chaos marked the end of an era, but now Sigmar is the one seeking to conquer it. B for Balthazar. Balthazar is the Lord Arcanum of the Anvils of the Helden Hammer's Grave Brethren's Sacrosanct Chamber. He's an Aether Mage and a master of the arcane arts, and he rides atop the Griff Charger called Quicksilver. He is dark-haired, invariably in the black and gold warplate and the robes of the Anvils in Helden Hammer. He carries an ornate staff of Sigmar and gold, and although he takes a blade to war, he rarely uses it, otherwise spending much of his time researching. He is potentially the Lord of the Empire, Balthazar Gelt, in new Stormcast Eternals form. C for Cacao. Cacao are mythical beasts that are thought to have once dwelt on the thought planes of the realm of Haish, the realm of light. Statues representing them have the lower halves resembling felines and heads resembling austere monarchs. The legs of the stone statues made to resemble the Cacao are leonine, ending in massive feet with claws the size of short swords. D for Damoon City. Damoon City, formerly known as Barak Kazar, is a former skyport of the Kharadron overlords, overrun by an alliance of the Grotbag Scuttlers and Gloomspite Gits. Barak Kazar was the skyport of the Kharadron overlords. The fall of the city began when a plunder fleet of the city descended onto the Evermount in the realm of beasts. They converged on the ruins of their ancestral stronghold, Kacharik Kazaf, anchoring their airships to the eroded upper levels while boarding parties were sent down into the depths. Soon the Dwarden were attacked by wave after wave of grots, spiders and troggoths, and while they attempted to flee, the Gloomspite horde overtook them and swarmed their airships, eventually travelling back to Barak Kazar and overrunning the skyport as well. E for Earthwound Archipelago. The Earthwound Archipelago is a location in the realm of Akshi, the realm of fire. It was created during the conflict between the Gawadan god Grimir and the mother of salamanders, Volcatrix, when, in smiting the great beast with a mighty blow, one of Grimir's blades cut deep into the continent itself. The resulting chasm, several hundred leagues in length and more than 100 in width, was quickly filled by molten blood of Volcatrix. Fireslayer's legends say that the magma ocean still exists and has no bottom, and is a wound that extends beyond the boundaries of the realm of fire itself. The lava acts like a turbulent ocean with great waves rising and falling to swamp newly arisen volcanoes in a mist or crashing down onto the shores. Only 10 vast volcanic mountains have endured since the time of its creation, but many still arise and are always destroyed in days, weeks, or even longer periods. F for Faithful Blades. Faithful Blades is a free-guild regiment in the city of Hammerhall Gara, well known as one of the oldest regiments in the city, who traditionally are granted the honour of holding the centre of the battle line. Famous battles include the Battle of the Hexwood and the Battle of the Pale Gorge. G for Gabler. Gabler is a toad dragon inhabiting the Lake of Screaming Reeds. During the Realmgate Wars, Gabler fought Zephocles of the Astral Templars as he attempted to reach the Grove of Blighted Lanterns. Gabler massacred many Hallowed Knights paladins that sacrificed themselves to let their brothers pass. H for Haldhorn. Haldhorn, the race singer of Clan Nathar, is a tree lord ancient of the Oakenbrow Glade. He is the most ancient of the Sylvaneth, with a timeless hatred for the gods and minions of chaos. An ancient in a grove of ancients, he fought throughout the Age of Chaos in the First War of Life. In the Age of Sigmar, he saved the last remnants of the Sylvaneth Enclave, the Peakwood, hidden atop the mountain-like Great Stump, defeating the Skaven and forces of Nurgle, led by Plague Lord Glubshort. I for Ibaka. Ibaka are large reptiles native to the realm of Chamon, which are used as beasts of burden and mounts. Splay-legged, broad-shouldered, and stocky in build, they have a wildling gait, which even skilled riders can find difficult to master. As they walk, they grind and crush rocks, and whilst they appear quite imposing, they are easily startled and unsuitable as war mounts. The Chamonic breed of lizard grows to be around the same size as an ox. J for Javasly. Javaslies are repugnant monsters of chaos, a sickening fusion of toad, slugdrake, and many-limbed insects, grotesque conglomerations of monstrous body parts that represent all that's vile and unwholesome in nature and magnifies it 100-fold. The visage is so twisted and grotesque, not even the clearest pools of water will show their reflection, and to stare upon it is to be affected by its aura of madness, capable of driving a man, even a seasoned warrior, immediately and irreversibly insane. It attacks its foes with a slavery tongue, vorpal claws, and a spiked tail, and is able to use its wings to fly. Whenever it is attacked, it spurts forth acidic blood that melts, corrodes, and causes horrific burns on whoever did the deed. They inhabit the swampy lairs that lurch forth from the mortal realms to hunt the enemies of their kind. K for Kacharik. A member of the Eyes of Nine warband and serving the gaunt summoner of Zinch, he is led along in the underworlds of Warhammer by Vortimus. They have been in the Mirrored City since Nagash originally cursed it and have been trying to open a portal between it and the Silver Towers now for several centuries. With the Necroquake, their focus has shifted to collecting and converting Shade Glass relics into arcane lodestones that they can be used as an anchor to Shadespire to the Silver Towers. If they succeed, Zinch will most likely be able to claim dominion over the Mirrored City. L for the Lackshelter Peaks. The Lackshelter Peaks are a mountain range found in the northern Kacharik heartlands in the Spiral Crux, in the realm of Chamon. M for Madcap Mushrooms. Madcap Mushrooms are a type of mushroom used extensively by Madcap shamans and grot fanatics. They are nearly indistinguishable from Madcap toadstools. Consuming the mushroom raw greatly enhances the magical abilities of a Madcap shaman. This boost sends mad visions into their brain, causing a green lightning to emit from their arms and allowing them to cast powerful spells, such as Mork's Mighty Mushroom or Scrapscuttle's Arachnacauldron. However, Madcap toadstools can easily be eaten instead, as they look identical, and the results of consuming such a toadstool are far less beneficial. Madcaps can be ground up and mixed with squig blood and philocap to brew the Madcap brew that induces a fierce frenzy. N for Naima. Naima is a vampire handmaiden of Neferata in the Age of Sigmar. She was one of the first vampires of the world that was, and favoured of her creator and queen, and in the Age of Sigmar she once again serves the Mortarch Neferata. O for Oak of Ages Past. The Oak of Ages Past is the Oak of Ages from the world that was, currently resting in the Everspring Swath. The Oak of Ages Past, a surviving remnant of the world that was, drifted through the etheric void for eons until it came upon Gairan, the realm of life. Sensing a kindred spirit, is settled in the Everspring Swath, near the home of the goddess Alariel, the Everqueen. From then on, it would be known as the Oak of Ages Past. Capitalizing on the defeat of Nagash and the end of the Necroquake, Alariel began a great ritual to revive the Oak of Ages Past, sprouting thousands of Sylvaneth and even bringing Drycha, Hamadryth and her fellows from the Dreadwood that had taken control of the tree after fighting through the forces of Nurgle. However, her great song was painful to the children of Chaos, and a horde of beastmen led by the great Bray Shaman Goragai Kai, guided by the entity known as the Shadowgave, attacked her, seeking to stop the ritual. The Beastmen had also succeeded in reforming the Dirgehorn destroyed in the Realmgate Wars and brought it to the battle. The Dreadwood forces managed to silence the Dirgehorn, but the Sylvaneth were taking heavy casualties. But this was unexpected, and the Oak began to move, nourished by the souls of the departed. River Vitalis began to clear, banishing the stain of Nurgle's corruption as the Oak's roots dived deeper into the riverbed. The ancient wood of the tree turned from black to brown and even began putting forth tiny buds of green. As Alariel's song rose to a soaring crescendo, the Oak of Ages Past rose higher, hauling itself upon upright to blossom into wondrous, unstoppable life. Leaves sprouted while buds opened into white flowers, haloed by pollen, and glowing acorns of gold swelled to fruition before falling to land in the clear waters. Wherever they landed, the tendrils and stalks grew with sudden speed. The acorns that had fallen grew larger, before splitting to reveal fetal forms which rapidly grew from infants into the Warsong revenants. They pulled forth from long splinters of oak, and from within their gullets they turned into long flutes. They began to play. To the beastmen, it was a sonic assault of devastating potency, who began to bleed from their eardrums, and those close by spasmed and eyeballs began bursting. As the melodies harmonized with the spirit song from the tree itself, the land itself came to life. Pale green tendrils lashed out at the beastmen. The transformation reminded Alariel of the ancient land of Athel Loren. Guragakai launched a desperate attack against Alariel, but was defeated and forced to retreat. P for Potarix. Potarix is one of the two blue scribes, blue horrors of Tzeentch, who were created by the architect of fate to learn every spell in existence. They are blessed with more self-awareness than their demon kin and travel the mortal realms on a disc of Tzeentch. They constantly squabble, as Potarix can only write arcane symbols and Xerath, the other blue scribe, can only read but not understand. Q for Qualifay. Qualifay is a land of the realm of Gur. The people of Qualifay trade their treasures in the far-off free city of Excelsis, in exchange for auguries given by the city's Prophesizers Guild. R for Rachnavores. Rachnavores are some of the most ancient and terrible beings that lay in the depths of the Canal of the Great Maker, one of the regions of the Cloister of Ashes, a great storm vault below Hammerhall Akshi. S for Sabrot. Sabrot is a malignant, a Knight of Shrouds who serves Nagash after betraying his twin brother to take the kingdom of Kaza. As a child, he had become obsessed with the dragon seat, the magical throne of the priest kings of his home. He attempted to claim the throne and was only spared by his brother due to the pleas of his wife and the children of the king, his nephews. During the Age of Chaos, the forces of the Dark Gods invaded the kingdom, and whilst his brother Volkard, the priest, king of the land, raised an army to fight them, Sabrot saw an opportunity to try and take the Dragon Seat throne finally for himself. He bargained with Nagash for the power to rule the kingdom eternally. As his brother armies prepared to engage the invaders, he invoked his new powers and enveloped all in the Shroud of Death. Following the necroquake, his powers grew, but he was unable to drain the life from the patch of land where his brother had died, much to his frustration. In his own barrow, he built a grim mockery of the throne room of the Priest Kings, having had the Dragon Seat dragged it down to it. Although he gained mastery over the kingdom, he had been transformed into a wraith by his spell and could no longer touch the throne which he had so desperately desired. His lust for it making him unable to focus his will on allowing him to do so. As the ruler, he demanded living tribute, sacrifices to be built his knight-errant army, using priests of Nagash such as Pater Matthias of Wimdrit as intermediaries. Stormcast Eternals under Arnholt arrived and sought out the source of corruption in this land, seeking to destroy both the forces of chaos and death. They clashed with Sabrot in the town of Wormdrit and drove him off, only for him to retreat, hoping to lure them into the heart of his own lands where he was at his most powerful. The two transformed brothers and their armies fought, the Stormcast Arnold finally defeating the usurper, although he was mortally wounded in the process. Tal, a god of bounty, harvest, and life that is worshipped by the people of Kaza in the realm of Gur. U for Uzul. Uzul is the daemon sealed within the Slayer of Kings, Archaeon's mighty sword. It grants Archaeon immense power. He burned Stalholm to ashes after he was unwittingly released by its priest, turning on Archaeon himself trying to banish him. Archaeon managed to recapture the demon after the location was destroyed. V for Vallette. Vallette is a region inside the Shadrach Convergence, bordering the Penumbral Sea and the Umbral Vale. Spreading a fungal infection across the Umbral Vale, the Gloomspike Gitz madcap shaman Nitbug Dribblesnot proclaims himself the new Loon King, turning the valleys of Vallette into his dank fungal kingdom. His reign was brought to an end as a war coven of the Calibron sank straight at the heart of Dribblesnot's realm, slaying the mad shaman after a short but ferocious battle. W for Wakeland Scintillor. Wakeland Scintillor is a knight incantor of the Sempiternals, a sacrosanct chamber of the anvils of the Heldenhammer Stormhost. His mortal life was mostly spent in solitude as a hermit sorcerer in the realm of Shaiish. Although reforged as a storm mage, he still retains his preference for brooding alone, and was often found pacing alone the battlements of Lethis. Following the Necroquake, he and other mages stood to struggle to hold back the unleashed hordes of Nagash, using increasingly powerful and desperate magics against them and the demons of chaos. Wakeland conjures a wailing tornado to erase a horde of demons, but it proves too intense to control, and he is forced to sacrifice himself to dispel it. Exasalica. The necropolis of Zalakar is a city of the Empire of Ossia in western Cadaverous, an underworld of the realm of Shaiish. Y for Uule. Uule is a three-celled serpent god with the body made of light and fire, of which no blade or hex can touch, and magic has barely any effect upon it. He constructed the celestial artifact known as the Star Crucible. Archaeon encountered and battled this entity long before the coming to the mortal realms, and Archaeon forged an alliance with the Zinchian sorcerers of Zir and a cabal of Slaneshi spell sirens in order to steal the artifact. He ordered his allies in the battle with the god, and when they perished, the Everchosen used their souls to weave a sorcerous cage of prismatic mirrors around the beast. Ule's beast's body exploded into 1,000 brilliant hues as the prisms channeled and dissipated its incorporeal form, allowing Archaeon to claim the artifact. Zeefazarzard. Zard, the Hound of Shaiish, is the Skullgrinder of the Soulmaw and the Forge Master of Shaiish. Skern Gallowstalker is his servant. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment below and let us know what you enjoyed about the video. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and turn those bell notifications on so you don't miss a beat when we upload new stuff to the channel. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel in another way, you can do so either by helping support the channel on Patreon or YouTube members. This allows us to continue to make new content for the channel, exploring other game systems outside of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, like we have started to with things like Elder Scrolls: A Call to Arms and Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings and Warhammer 40,000, and it helps us just continue to make more Age of Sigmar content as well. Thank you to, though, everyone who has helped support, and we'd like to give them all a shout out to our patrons. First of all, Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowe, Outer and Shop First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, and Samuel. And to our YouTube members as well, Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Ronya, Vinny Locklorick, The Journey 84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Sean Scott, and Diplomat. And a special thank you, of course, to, first of all, Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel you see here, and to Xmorphic, who does all the awesome background work on our Discord server, keeping that nice and running properly for us all. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Once again, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.